Last month, a 63-year-old man walked into a coffee shop, and within seconds, three women in their 40s turned to look at him. Not because he was famous or loud, but because of something subtle in the way he moved, stood, and simply existed in that space. What I'm about to share are the exact features that grab their attention instantly, the body cues women notice in milliseconds. Whether they consciously realize it or not, these signals reveal a lot about attraction, and they might challenge everything you thought about aging and desirability. Relationship expert Esther Perel has spent decades studying desire, and her work shows something fascinating. As women grow older, their sense of attraction becomes more nuanced, more precise, and often more intense than the surface-level preferences of youth. For men over 60, what women notice isn't what most men assume. Many think aging means fading into invisibility, that only younger men with muscular builds or full heads of hair can attract attention. That assumption is not only wrong, it keeps many men from connections they could easily have. Research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that women's attraction shifts with age. While younger women focus on conventional markers of attractiveness, women over 35 increasingly respond to what are called character indicators, subtle physical signals that reveal a man's personality, capability, and emotional presence. Some of these cues come from body parts men rarely pay attention to, areas they might overlook completely. Perel emphasizes that desire operates on multiple levels at once. A woman might think she's noticing one thing consciously while her body is registering entirely different signals. Women are constantly reading these cues, unconsciously assessing health, competence, emotional availability, and potential as a partner. Here are the key areas where these calculations happen most quickly. The first is the hands. Hands are always under observation, even when a woman isn't aware she's looking. They reveal how a man moves through the world and, by extension, how he might treat her. She notices grooming, clean nails, well-maintained skin, not perfection but care. She observes how hands move. Are gestures calm and deliberate or nervous and fidgety? Women also pick up signs of capability. A little roughness from work or hobbies signals competence, attention to detail, and resourcefulness. One woman described meeting a 64-year-old man whose hands were her first impression. They were weathered but cared for, calm when resting, expressive when he spoke about woodworking. Those hands told a story about who he was without him saying a word. Simple care, moisturizer, trimmed nails, and awareness of gestures can make a huge difference. Anthropologists studying nonverbal cues note that hands are among the strongest signals of attraction. Forearms are another surprising focus. Studies consistently show women rate forearms as highly attractive, sometimes even more than chest or abs. For men over 60, forearms can work in their favor. They're visible in daily life, rolling up sleeves, reaching for something, or just existing in warm weather. Forearms communicate physical capability. Muscles used, strength, and the ability to handle practical challenges. A woman once shared how a contractor, otherwise average in appearance, caught her attention the moment he rolled up his sleeves. His forearms revealed competence and presence that completely changed her perception. Maintaining muscle tone through everyday activity, keeping skin hydrated, and showing your forearms instead of hiding them can send subtle but powerful signals. Finally, the eyes. Everyone knows eyes matter. But what women over 35 are actually scanning for goes beyond color or shape. They notice what Perel calls the gaze of presence, whether a man is truly engaged in the moment or elsewhere mentally. This subtle quality becomes more pronounced with age. Presence in the eyes communicates attentiveness, emotional availability, and confidence in ways that words never can. These cues, hands, forearms, eyes, and the small gestures around them, are where attraction quietly operates for mature women. They're the signals most men overlook, yet they hold the power to transform how a woman perceives a man. Understanding this isn't about vanity or youth, it's about awareness, care, and presence. And once you do, the change can be remarkable. For men over 60, the eyes tell a story. The lines around them, often called crow's feet, aren't flaws. They're evidence of a life lived fully. A study from Western University in Canada found that people with smile lines are seen as warmer, more genuine, and trustworthy compared to those without them. These lines show laughter, emotion, and sunlight-faced, and when paired with attentive eye contact, they can be deeply attractive. Women scan three main things in the eyes. First, attention. When a man looks at her, does it feel focused and present, or distracted and distant? This can be felt instantly and can't be faked for long. Second, expressiveness. Do his eyes light up, soften, or change when he talks about things that matter? Or do they stay flat? Eyes reveal emotional availability more than almost any other feature. Third, health cues. Clear whites, alertness, proper moisture, all unconsciously signal vitality and partner potential. One woman told me she met her current partner at 58, who was 62. What drew her first wasn't the color of his eyes, it was how fully he looked at her. She felt seen and interesting, and that connection came purely from his eyes. Maintaining this isn't complicated. Eye health matters, but the habit of being fully present when speaking matters even more. Put away distractions, quiet your mind, and actually engage. That presence shines first through your eyes. Next is posture and shoulders, the feature most men over 60 neglect, yet women constantly notice. How a man carries himself instantly communicates confidence, vitality, and approachability. Rounded, slouched shoulders signal withdrawal or fatigue. Pulled back shoulders show energy, openness, and engagement with the world. Research in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin shows that expansive postures make people appear more attractive than clothing, grooming, or facial symmetry. Posture can suffer from decades of desk work, bad habits, or the idea that it doesn't matter anymore. But at 60, posture becomes a choice. Awareness, daily adjustment, and strengthening upper back and core muscles can transform perception immediately and dramatically. A woman in her 60s shared how two men the same age looked decades apart. One hunched, shuffled, chin down, the other upright, measured, shoulders back. The difference was striking. Finally, the mouth. Not just the smile, though that matters enormously, but how lips, teeth, and expressions move during speech. Women read much more than words. They observe how the mouth forms them, the confidence in delivery, and even subtle character revealed by expression lines. Basic dental care matters. Clean teeth, fresh breath, and maintenance. Beyond hygiene, the quality of the smile matters, genuine or forced, reaching the eyes or flat. The way a man speaks, with clear, deliberate words, communicates thoughtfulness and confidence, while mumbling or rushing signals insecurity. Lines or asymmetry from years of expression don't detract, they can signal character and distinction. One woman described her partner's mouth. She first noticed how he spoke, clearly and measuredly, then his slow, genuine smile. She felt trust before she even consciously knew him. So here they are. 5 body parts women instantly notice in men over 60. Hands that show competence and care, forearms that reveal strength, eyes that communicate presence, shoulders that signal vitality, and a mouth that conveys health and intimacy. None require gyms or expensive treatments, just attention and presence. These features aren't passive. They reflect how a man engages with life. The men who maintain them while others neglect them stand out naturally. All 5 tell a story. Active, engaged living versus gradual withdrawal. Women read this story instinctively. And attraction isn't just visual, it's physical, about touch and interaction. That's why explains how to translate these cues into connection. Because no matter how capable your hands or present your eyes are, if you can't express it through touch and embrace, the full impact is lost. Understanding what women see is only half the equation. The rest comes from how you make them feel.